to the other team?
Well, these teams are going straight back into the game as we move back on board with a player from Dignitas, which I believe will be... Ooh, let's see who it's going to be. I think it is going to be...
the famous Scott.
It might not be Scott. We'll see who it is.
You're keeping me guessing.
Unfortunately, we cannot tell until we pick. It's going to be the Terminator because he has a blue screen. Let's see who we are on board.
It's Big Daddy Riots, I think.
Big Daddy Riots. The man is a big man, standing at approximately 9'7".
Indeed.
And we are on board. King of the Hill on Oasis. King of the Hill, first team to reach 250 points. You get a point for every second you stand in the hill. Oasis is a brand new map made in Forge World by the community, used at MLG Orlando recently in their V6 settings. And these
just
teams...
seems like Dignitas are relentless. Great start, 4 dead, time in the hill, control of the map. You just really couldn't be asking for anything better in the winner bracket semi-final. Infused just have got absolutely no answer right now. They've been
once
dominated.
Again, you can just see, like you said, Dignitas are relentless. You can just see Ramirez and Riots. They are just holding down that X button, sprinting across the map, straight, balls to the wall, right in Infused. Come at me, bro. And
no fear.
They are not waiting for Infused to come to them. They are going straight to them.
Well,
no fear.
I know these guys have been playing a lot online against each other. I've been looking at the scores on Bungie. The scores have been kind of 9-2, 8-3. But online, you know, it can lie a bit, but obviously not with these guys. I know people were saying Dignitas were online warriors, but it seems like these guys really are the real deal. Infused finally able to get some seconds in the hill.
Oh.
Whoa.
We have somehow gone onto the Predator screen. I will remove that as we jump on board, hopefully with Fusion.
This has got to be Rami.
I don't know, because whoever that was hit shots, so it might not be Rami. It is Rami. I do apologise. Can hit some. So we're back on board with Ramirez, the Objective King himself. The man who stars himself after Sonic the Hedgehog, and he is looking to increase this lead for Team Dignitas as they are 28-10 ahead. 80-second lead. Brand new sniper, it's the old sniper in his hand, and he does manage to tag Baxter, which again is going to make him drop off.
Ramirez was telling me at this event he's one of the best snipers in Europe. He seems to become a lot better with it.
Well, if Ramirez says it, it must be true.
Indeed. Very confident lad. It's pretty much needed.
And the hill has now moved to one of these back corner positions, and Dignitas will be looking to solidify.
And this is where the teams be looking to pick up the majority of the time, really. It's very hard to get time in the bottom hill. Yeah, you need to look to set up here.
Great job by Ramirez. Ramirez using that arm ability, that evade arm ability, manages to make himself fling across the map. Evade, as it says on the tin, allows you to evade all kinds of fire, all kinds of shots. Uses it to essentially tease his members. And I'll tell you what, Matt, you can hear now, the Fuse boys are getting that little bit louder. You can hear Jack Baxter really calling out, telling his team that they're doing a good job, getting his team pumped, and this is probably what they need. I said right at the start, Jack is a vocal leader, and we haven't heard it from him yet. Now they're in game 3, they're in do or die, backs against the ropes. And Jack brings out the big guns.
They just need to get a look in. I mean, they've been getting beat online by these guys. They got beat in the last tournament by these guys. They just need to get a look in one of these games. They got dominated in the first 2. They can get a look in. Anything could happen. MVP is 2 blue.
So stepping back on board with an Infused member. I believe this is going to be possibly Jack Baxter, maybe possibly Pete. I'm not entirely sure. It is Pete. We are on board with Pete. Pete, a man who's fairly new to the Halo scene, hasn't really played much in terms of previous Halo titles.
Indeed.
And he is one of these new players who was aforementioned as a new up-and-coming player. Jack and Baxter and MVP, they like their style. They like the fact that they were new talent to mold into their own, and they will be looking for Pete and Blackjack to step it up, to use that talent, and to really go ahead and just try and claw their way back into this match and hopefully seal themselves a spot in that grand final, who I believe currently sat in that grand final is the Lowland Lions, who I understand have beat Apex 3-1. So Lowland Lions are sitting in the grand finals, and they will be awaiting the winner of this match in the winner semis between Infused and Dignitas. Team Dignitas currently 2-0 up. fairly comfortably. Infused just haven't got into a groove yet, and this is do or die for them right now, Matt.
Yeah, and they seem to have built up a little lead on us, almost cheekily. I haven't noticed it, but yeah, building up a lead, and yeah, Dignitas looking very, very strong. Just preventing Infused from getting any time in the hill, really. No milking is going down. Great play by Scott there.
And we're on board with Pete right now from Team Infused, and Pete is trying his hardest to excuse me, he's trying his hardest to get his team back into this game. You can see he's picking up kills in and around the hill, but Infused just don't seem to have an answer for that Dignitas swarm. Dignitas just seem to be, as a team, as a unit, in all manner of different places.
They seem to be the full package. They are just... They're looking too much for Infused at the moment. Still plenty of time left, though. They're just doing all the right things.
Absolutely. The machine that now is Team Dignitas is well oiled. Their coach, Inspired to Kill, has spent a lot of time oiling these guys up. And
literally.
Yeah. There has been much Vaseline being used in the Dignitas changing room, and but they are looking ready to go. They are looking ready to extend their track record to 3 tournament wins in a row. They are currently set on 2. 4 tournament wins?
Indeed.
They're looking to send it to 4 tournament wins
and
in a
that
row.
would be quite the record for these guys.
Building up their own
4 in a row.
Their own Halo Reach dynasty.
Yeah, definitely. I was part of that. Hey.
Now look at you, Matt. You're stuck with me, gutted.
I'm all retired.
An absolutely huge grenade launcher.
Spammy Rami.
And that was Emirates, the man who I think, when he came out of his mother's womb, came out with a grenade launcher. Riot's picking up a huge double kill. Dignitas are just looking unstoppable right now. And as much as Jack wants to flap his gums, I think he needs to do more to get his team into this. Pete needs to do more to get his team back into this.
They've just not had a look, and they've just been absolutely dominated. I mean, in my opinion, you've got Riots and Trojan, 2 of the best players in the game, supported by just 2 great players. Like, what can you do, really?
Dignitas are just sitting there saying, "This is my house." Infused are trying to peek in the window. Riots just giving them the finger and shut the blinds, and they are just not getting in at all.
No one's missing. What are you supposed to do when someone just doesn't miss on you? It kind of sucks.
You pray to something that one of the Dignitas players is maybe struck by lightning in this game, because I think that might be the only way. Because right now, Dignitas have extended the lead to 124 to 56. The game is almost halfway through.
Very dominant scoring.
And that is double Infused scores. I mean, what more can you say? Team Dignitas have at the moment doubled Infused scores, and for all of their efforts, Future doesn't even have to strafe. He can stand still, puts his thumb in his mouth, blows his chest up, and just says, "You know what? I don't have to move. I'll still outshoot you," and that's exactly what happened.
To be fair, I don't think we've really seen one setup from Dignitas as well. It's just been great milkage of the hill and keeping the other team out, which is the 2 most important things in a King of the Hill game type. Never allowed Infused to ever get more than like 10 seconds in the hill at a certain point. Never let them get a groove.
I believe that might have been the first kill for Pete I've seen in about 5 minutes.
Indeed.
Which, as you said, it's so hard to... How do you kill that which has no miss?
How do you kill that has no life?
I didn't say it.
You should have. I love you, Scott.
Scott obviously has his fans.
He is a beast.
He even had his own chant in Loughborough.
Hasn't really happened for him.
Yet to hear it in London. I'm sure if they get into the grand finals, we will hear the Scott chant.
Hopefully.
Guys, of course, if you are watching online, live at the stream, you're joining us as Dignitas are 2-0 up. This is Game 3 between Team Dignitas and Infused in the winners bracket semi-finals. We are on board right now with Infused Pete, who just at the moment is not getting a look in.
I think we should go to a Dignitas point of view. If you can work the gizmo jewels.
I can do it with my magic buttons.
Excellent.
I'm a technological man. I'm a little bit like Robocop, some might say.
Excellent.
That technological that I've brought you Dignitas point of view, Matt.
Back on with Spammy Rami. Again, Dignitas just shutting them down. Just doing an excellent job of preventing Infused kind of getting to the hill guy.
And again, Rami just, you see someone charging at him, and that guy, as Jack with Baxter was charging him, is getting shot at. That's really Ramirez is on a killing spree. I don't think he's had to try for it. He's literally just looking at players, and they are dropping like absolute flyers whilst he's in the hill, as you said, and that it is exactly a 101-second lead.
Just controlling the right areas of the map and just doing everything correctly. So again, Dignitas haven't been in the hill for the last 20 seconds, but nor have Infused.
I believe we are on board with
just keeping
Scott.
them out. Excellent play again.
Scott,
someone who for the new hill as well on the other side of the map.
Scott was someone who in Halo 3 received a lot of criticism for not necessarily being the brightest of players in some people's opinions, but now he's showing us, like you said, always making sure he is working around the objective. He's taking Infused and wiping the hill's floor with their noses.
He does do a lot of teaming with Scott. He does a lot of objectives secretly because he's stat whoring, but behind them, and then just does it. It's really weird. It works. Again, it's free dead for Dignitas. Maybe Infused can get some time here because they really, really need it.
Jack Baxter is once again getting loud, and just as we say that, Fusion dumps a grenade into his skull.
See, great play here, not focusing on the hill, taking out the players around the hill, and then he can get to the hill. Oh.
Unbelievable shots from Scott there. Absolutely no fear.
Just knows he's going to win the battle.
Now challenging Blackjack duel. Blackjack does get the first shot and does get away from the Terminator. That is Scott. That is Fusion. And once again, Matt, this isn't a challenge at the moment for Dignitas. They don't seem to. They seem like they're in 5th gear. They haven't even had to move into 6th, just purely because they are just Infused. Just don't seem to be able to scratch them.
Yeah, it just seems like the Dignitas team's just on another level at the moment, and I'm not sure whether Infused can bring it back this tournament. I know there was MVP's been in America. I'm not sure of the quality of practice they've been able to get.
Well, they did have a pre-land against our first seed, who are currently waiting in the winners bracket finals out of the lowland Lions. So they definitely had some decent practice. But when you see things like Blackjack doing the straight line strafe straight towards the hill on his own, that you are never going to be able to win a game like that. You have Jack Baxter diving around.
Lead. That's big.
Blackjack gets a big kill, but once again, it's just sprint and run at the hill and hope that you might run fast enough to knock someone out. I'm not quite sure what they're thinking, really, but they need a little bit more coordination to be able to do this.
They're getting a little bit desperate now as well.
Because that hill, that sniper's up. Fusion has his mitts on it. The hill moves. Scott, do you know what? He's 100 seconds ahead here. Sod that. I can't get any 6 snipes from in the hill. I'm going to get grenaded. I'm going to run away. Probably to the back of the map. Yeah, here he goes.
He knows his teammates are down around him. He's going to try and find a position to take the hill out. His teammates just went on the opposite side of the map to him. The other team don't know where he is, which leads to the inevitable.
There you go, peeling Blackjack's wig off his head. Gives it number 2, short back and sides. Doesn't even ask for payment, just does it. This is a nice guy like that. If he did the same to Pete, yep. Bullet to the back of the head, Pete. That is not quite what you're after.
And this game is pretty much over, I would say. Wow.
Scott is just dishing out the pain through the blame.
Saving his ratio.
Yeah,
Standard.
does not want to die. Why would you want to die? Oh my good God. Fusion is putting on a show right now. This is like going to the circus and he's currently like sat on top of an elephant, juggling, and he's eating fire. That's what he's doing.
Eating fire?
Yep, eating fire.
Wow.
That's how good he is, and that because he's putting on a show. They don't have to try anymore, really. They're just 20 seconds away from winning, 100 seconds ahead from Infused. All they have to do is just not get complacent, not get sloppy. Infused are trying their hardest. They are screaming at each other.
I think they can actually, like 1 second. But yeah, this is pretty much all she wrote.
It is never say die, but some of us might have to say never right now. I mean, you can't doubt the heart in the guys in the Infused squad. You can hear them. They are getting vocal. They are trying desperately to claw themselves back into it. But as you said,
example of the teamwork there, going for the hill. Obviously got the call out to turn around. The communication's just on another level by these guys right now.
MVP there was on a killing spree. He's trying hardest to come back from that rough game 1, but I think that is mathematically over, Matt.
I'm looking at it, and it might be.
I'm a history teacher, not a math teacher, but I'm pretty sure that is game. That is Team Dignitas moving on to the winner bracket finals.
Done the maths already, it seems.
Sonic the Hedgehog is feeling it, and They're not even moving.
It's game over.
That is game. That is Infused.
A comprehensive 3-0 sweep, that is.
That is Infused getting absolutely 3-0 by Team Dignitas. Ramirez taking a cheeky look at the other team's screens. Why don't you just walk over there, Andy? It's fine. Game's not even ended. Just have a look at what they're doing. That's all right. But that was not the game I thought it was going to be.
No, I thought maybe 3-1 Dignitas.
Yeah. At least some close games, but really just...
Not even a look-in. Not even a look-in.
I was expecting a damn slobber knocker.
Maybe LLL and Dignitas can do that for us. Hopefully.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. Well, guys, that was our second winners bracket semi-final here at EGL4 here in London. Hopefully, Scott would be a scholar and a gent and put up some stats for us. He's going to do it. Of course, Scott is going to check his stats. Scott, check your stats. Boom, there we go. Ramirez putting up +9.
Finally managing to go positive. I didn't think I'd see the day.
Scott somehow going on a tear and still going neutral, but Blackjack dropping a -13. And really, if you want to win a hill game, guys, that's how you do it. You don't go negative and you get in that hill, and that is exactly what Dignitas did. They put on a clinic, and they are heading through to the
winner bracket finals.
So, guys, that is that is going to be all from us. Now we are going to go to a little break, and Riots, get out of the way. Riots, get out of the way. So I told you, the man's a giant.
He's 9 foot tall.
Completely unaware of anything I'm saying. Max.
He lacks ears.
All right, well, we found out that while he's posing on the camera, we're actually going to have a word with Riots. We have just been joined by Mr. Smelly Moss, Ben Bennick. We now see Riots' backside in the chinos. If only he'd get out the way for the second time.
We've lost our... Oh, no, you have to do this. No, you don't have to do the switching.
You want to do the switch out?
That's the stream. Oh, you're going to do the camera, but you can't switch from that. Oh, we're going to have a seat. All right.